Going over to the political part podcast, you have Donald Trump joking around Mr. Zelensky about canceling the next election if it takes place during war. And I always say, and I think it's true, if you do me a favor, click that subscribe button. Most people don't who watch the show, and I greatly appreciate when you do, because it'll help me with my speaking. I know I speak usually faster than Ben Shapiro and more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. But as I slowly but surely get more subscribers, I become slightly better at speaking. Granted, most people might say barely anything at all, barely any improvement, topping, barely. Though I would argue, statistically speaking, technically still an improvement as I've got more subscribers, which at least my theory. The more people that click that button and tell your friends, the better the show becomes. Also, tell your enemies. They might be so enamored and impressed by your choice in podcast material that they then become your best friends. Or they hate my show so much, they then become greater enemies and it becomes a physical altercation. Perhaps I shouldn't recommend that. Either way, it makes for an interesting, funny story. So not just tell your friends, but tell your enemies, because who knows? Now, again, this is Trump joking with Vladimir Zelensky because, Mr. King of the Ukraine, he canceled, well, not just religion by closing down churches, but he actually canceled elections because it was during wartime, which, yeah, real countries don't do. But in fact, the United States, we never did that, not even during the Civil War. We always have our elections. Granted, you could argue they're not always great with some mail-in ballots and stuff like that, but nevertheless, we always have the elections. Now, this is credited to end wokeness. Without too much further ado. And actually, oh my gosh, that little money grubber. Zelensky actually suited up, as all men should. You always look best in a suit. Which, again, that entitled little douchebag usually get. I say that because, again, they took in over $180 billion from us. $180 billion to a place that most Americans cannot point to on a map. Though I can't blame them because we mostly went to public schools. But a country that is not one of our top 10 trading partners got over $108 billion. Again, $180 billion. And he would show up in a t-shirt. I mean, he is the definition of entitlement. Might be the number one example of all time, but nevertheless.
Legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
No, this is
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you.
I mean, that's what you did, Zelensky. And of course, Trump is, liberal media is loving this because obviously they think Trump is serious. He's not. He's not going to start a war and then cancel elections like Zelensky did. And maybe that's why this didn't go as viral as I thought, though. I thought it was funny. Got about 250,000 views and 5.4 thousand likes. Dyslexia, the real podcast killer. But in all seriousness, yeah, one of those corrupt countries on the planet getting over $180 billion. Hopefully the war will end someday. But I can't but think Republicans and Democrats will just find somewhere else to shovel all of our taxpayer money. They seem to love giving it to any other country except the people who actually pay taxes here to help us. But I partially digress. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to whale psychiatrist. That's got to be a tough job because they can only communicate through moaning sounds. So I guess maybe like liberal leftists. So maybe there's some parallels in the psychiatric industry. I'm not sure. I might have to research that. Now he just has a gif of Trump smiling, getting 212 likes. And Woke just says 85 likes. Gunther Engelman simply says epic LL, getting 148 likes. The conservative alternative says, quote, new Trump troll face just dropped. It's a that's going to be screenshotted all. That is going to be used in a lot of memes, as I call them, or memes. I don't know. It doesn't sound as cool. Paul Zuba says jokes, getting 12 likes. Miss B says Trump meets with dictator Zelensky. That was, I believe, a few months ago with Zelensky's with his sweater. He wore a sweater to meet the president of the United States. Again, I didn't agree with a lot of things Biden did. I think he did maybe one good thing, maybe. But if I met him, again, still the president of the United States, I would still suit up. Granted, I usually suit up when I leave the house anyway, but nonetheless, imagine going to meet the president of the United States wearing a sweater. It isn't even a turtleneck, which, granted, you could maybe say it is appropriate to wear a tactical turtleneck. I appreciate that. I aspire to own one of these days, but even then, be the president? No, you suit up. I did get 38 likes. This is a good one. Mrs. B has the picture of Trump and Vladimir Putin looking up at the sky when a B-2 bomber famously came over them. And they got Zelensky in a little made-up airplane right there. And we have an oil drum. It looks like that actual airplane that Zelensky is riding looks like it could have been out of a Cracker Barrel. Or a Cracker Jack box, either or. That also got 39 likes. Huge Retard says Trump is the funniest man alive. Incredible stuff. And someone took Trump's face and, wow, it's horrifying. Who is that? Is that Grok? They used some type of AI to make him look like a Giga Chad. Kind of hilarious. So give it 50 likes now. Let's see. Isaac says Trump doesn't need a war. He just needs a different identity. It's Trump with a pink wig on or purple wig on getting 20 likes. Right side and free says leftist melted down in 3, 2. It's a picture of the mayor of LA, Miss Bowser, which looks oddly reminiscent to the Bowser from Super Mario Brothers, which is, I think, the funny way to pronounce it. But yeah, we'll see if they ever have elections in Ukraine again. And let me know, do you think Zelensky is actually in control, or do you think he's a puppet? Again, over a year ago, I mean, there was talks of peace coming out. Then the UK told Zelensky, hey, do not negotiate. We're gonna give you all the free weapons and all the money. So let me know about that theory and your thoughts about that as well. Because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.